I see.
Guest artist.
Well, that's cool. That's fun. It's exciting.
I've been to many a theater show. Actually, I've probably been in more theater shows than I've seen.
Okay.
Ballets.
What numbers did we do? We did 2 through 44? Yeah. Great. Let me turn the page.
Still try out the ballet because ballet looks not right.
Yeah, ballet Lubbock is drastically different from SETA.
I think that I shall enjoy something on the basis I like her.
Ballet Lubbock is amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't put my child in it, but their ballet is really good. That's a strange statement to say that they're not very good. Yeah.
Technique?
Yeah, they are like a school. Y'all are a hybrid.
Yeah, we're weird.
Y'all have friggin' adults and college students in your thing. Yeah, no, see, Ballet Lubbock is really good. That's an absurd sentence. They have a different purpose than what you have. If
I don't like their technique. It's just not.
well,
I mean, I guess it's pretty good for their age, and since they're only high school students.
well, and they're also doing different. Well, and that's not true. Actually, they've branched out more in the last few years. But
Yeah.
but no, that's
They're
a.
also strictly classical ballet.
Yeah, well, that's actually what I was about to say, and then changed what I was, because they are not really strictly classical. They are mostly classical now, but they have done a few shows that are not classical now.
Yeah,
but
they did the Vivaldi Four Seasons Zip a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Which is
No.
very not ballet.
yeah,
I didn't know there was ballet.
okay, let's do some things. We need buttons. Oof. What's up, bro? I don't know if these buttons are going to work. I think the buttons I need are somewhere else. Are they right there? No, they're right there. I found the buttons.
Didn't know that I could dance. So they were just gonna have me just do some like partnering things. Then they found out that I could dance. I'm like, what? You know what a tandu is? Yeah, I know what tandu is. I also know what all this stuff is. Because I've been dancing for a decade.
I forgot what song it was.
Okay. Numero 2 is right there.
What is down? Oh wait, that's right, I did too, didn't I? Give me a second. Yeah, that's right, I did too.
Things like my graphic.
Number 4 is,
Can you go back to number 2 real quick?
sure.
I didn't know what I was supposed to be looking at yet, so.
Number 4 is right there.
Got it the wrong way around.
Number 6. Oh my gosh. Teen, apparently. Come on, catch up. There you go. Oh my gosh. 6.
I think I'm very confused for a while.
Same.
I've gotten more right than I thought I had, so that's nice.
There you go. Number 8. Number 10. Whoop, too much. Number 12 is 613 or 3 inches above the vertex. 14a is quantity x minus 2 squared equals negative 1/16 times the quantity y minus 70. 14b, vertex is 270 and 70 feet. It's the maximum height that a hot dog, what maximum height that a hot dog can reach? What is this problem?
Is it the hot dog cannon?
Sure, I don't know.
Or like a baseball game or something? They launch.
Oh, I see, a hot dog cannon, I see. Well, there you go. All right, number 16 is right there. Whoop. Eighteen is, whoop, come on thing. 18 is right there. 20 is that one. 22 is that guy. 24 is that one. And 26 is over here for some reason. Stupid thing. Try again. $26 is right there. $28 is right there. And then 30 is that one. 32 is somewhere. Is 32 a word problem again? No. Where is 32? Oh, it's right there. I see it. I see it. 32 is over here. 34 is over here. 36 is here. 38 is that one. 40 is that one. 42 is that. 44A is something like that. And 44B should be there. Oh, there it is. 44B is right next to it. All right. Where are we going to start with our questions today?
Number 10.
Number 10.
I'd like to go through replacing all of them.
Well, that's probably not going to happen.
Sometimes we get these stuff done unless we have to do math.
Number 10. We are supposed to identify the vertex focus, axis of symmetry, and directrix, and graph it. Ten is 10 times x plus 11 equals y plus 3 squared. Okay. So, is this in standard form?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, what should we do with it now? Get what?
Like the vertex is 11, -11, -3. And
Yes. Yes, it is.
11 negative 3?
-11, because in the formula, it's subtracted. And
Oh.
so it's always going to be the opposite sign from what is there is what the number is.
Subtracted. Oh, okay.
Great. Vertex. Answer 1.
Focus is -17 halves and 3, -3. Did y'all get that?
Okay. So, how do we find the focus?
Depends on
It's
which.
H plus P and K.
The H is the -11, and then P is the number in front of that stuff divided by 4, which gives us 5 halves. Question mark.
Why is it, well, why are they both negative with the vertex? Why is it negative?
Because that's the opposite of this. It's subtracted in the formula.
No, not 5/4, 5 halves. It's 10 divided by 4.
Yeah, that's what I meant to write. Calm down. Great. So, H is what? -11. So what's -11 plus 5 halves?
-22/2 plus 5.
Let's write it as a mixed number so it's easier to graph it if we need to. -8.5. And K is -3. What direction is this parabola opening?
It's opening. Wait, it's gonna.
Go left.
Upwards. No, not
Y is squared, so it's definitely left or right.
Going left.
and then right.
Because if the focus is at negative and negative, it has to go left, right?
No, because the vertex is over here, and then the focus is right here, and then goes towards the focus.
Yeah, which you can tell which direction is opening just from looking at the equation without even having to do any math. But it definitely does open right because this point is to the right of it. Because remember, negatives as we go down, it's going. So the focus is negative, but this part is also negative. Yeah. But we can also tell from just looking at the picture, but that's from looking at the thing. But yeah, that's great. Okay, so continuing on forward. Focus, we're supposed to find the axis of symmetry, right?
-3.
What equals -3?
Y equals
Y equals -3. If the symmetry is this way.
Directrix. Y equals.
Maybe it's x equals for that.
X equals what? What's the kind of formula we're going with?
-11.
We're using the -11. -11 what? We got to use the P to get the directrix.
X equals -11 minus the 5 halves.
11 minus 2.5. So X equals -13 halves is the directrix. Is there anything else we're supposed to be finding?
Now we just gotta graph now.
Now we just got to graph the thing. Great. Sounds good. So negative 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, negative 1, 2, 3. Right there is the vertex. Focus is negative 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half. Focus is right there. And the directrix is over here. Negative 13 halves, 11, 12, 13 and a half. Directrix.
What does the directrix do?
Remember the directrix, what it is, it's a construction. If we were to take this line and bend it around with the center at the focus, we'd have the parabola.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah.
pre-bent.
Yep. Axis of symmetry is at -3, obviously. Okay, so we need a point or two, right? So what do we want to pick? How about 1? Sounds great. Let's do 1. Or even 0. That's probably even easier. Let's do 0. So we plug a 0 in there. We've got 10. We're doing times 11 equals 3. No, equals y plus 3 cubed. Squared. Sorry, saying strange things. 121 equals y squared plus 6y plus 9.
Wait. Yeah, that's right.
What?
What's 11? Isn't 11 squared 121?
6, 1.
Oh yeah, you're right. 110.
Yeah.
OMG. So y squared equals, no, y squared plus 6y minus 101 equals 0. Shove it in the quadratic formula or something like it, or in the calculator or whatever, and get some answers.
Shove it in the calculator as in grab the calculator?
No, as in solving this quadratic. I haven't taught you how to do that. I haven't even told you it's possible, but it is. But, well, actually, it depends. On some of your calculators, it may be possible. Some of them, it's not. It depends. Most, even if they don't have a full computer algebra system, most graphing calculators have a quadratic solver function app in there somewhere. So shoving it in the quadratic formula, we end up with y equals -6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 4 times 1 times -101 over 2 -6 plus or minus whatever that is, 36 plus 404, so I'm getting 440, 470, I don't know. Y'all do, shove in your calculator. I think it's 470. I think that's what we get. But I could be lying. Or is it for
What's the quadratic formula again?
What did you
negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Oh,
This was with practice test.
What?
Nothing. Sorry.
I was like, that's not a parabola.
400.
Oh no, it's 440.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know where I got 70 from. I was shoving extra 4s in there. 470.
440?
I'm still putting 470. 440. This is approximately equal to, what's the square root of 440? 21 over 2. Negative 6 plus 21 is positive 17 over 2, so positive 8.5. Does that sound correct? Negative 6 plus negative 21 is negative 27 divided by 2, so negative 13.5. Does that sound right?
It'd be 7.5, not 8.5.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then we shove those dots on the thing. We actually could have we could have, what could we have got one with? Yeah, probably. Okay. These are both the zeros. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. So right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1/2 is right there. So then, and it's beautiful.
So that's on the y-axis is what that?
Yeah, because we pull it when x equals 0.
Yeah.
And it has 2 options because it's a parabola opening to the right. Easy money?
Sure. Can we do 14?
Maybe. What? Did we try it?
I did try the word problem. I just got it wrong. It's going in negative,
Okay.
which does not work.
It's going in negative, which doesn't work. What do you mean?
The hot dog is a negative number. It's going negative in space that it wasn't going backwards. It was supposed to go forwards. Why was it going backwards?
Your answer got it backwards.
Yes.
Gotcha. It's like, it's definitely not. It's definitely going up and over.
I said
I know. That's great. I was just confused about what you were. I thought you were talking about like the key or something. I was being confused. Okay, sure. 14. Hot dog cannon. Right. So we decided during Philadelphia Phillies baseball game, the team's mascot, the Fanatic. That's kind of funny. Launches hot dogs into the stands. Sounds painful. The launching device propels the hot dogs into the air at an initial velocity of 64 feet per second. A hot dog's distance y above the ground is illustrated by that. What is the write the equation in standard form? All right, start there. Negative whole bunches of stuff. Yes. Okay. Equals negative 16 x squared plus 64x plus 6. I need to write that in standard form after I yell at a kid. Are y'all making that noise? Oh, I'm not yelling at a kid. I'm just questioning your life choices. I was about to go yell at a kid. That's okay. They are doing IPC. Okay. What should we do, children?
Get it to standard form somehow. Move stuff around.
I tried. I failed. So I don't know.
Complete. Are we completing the square? Is that what's happening? Oh no, that works too.
We are completing the square. It's literally what we're doing. Was that 4? 4. Right? Questions so far? No, yes, maybe.
Because you don't take it out of the
Right. And then,
Yas. Square. Is negative 2. Square. 24. That's 4.
Any questions now?
Why minus 64?
You answer that. You tell me. Where did the 64 come? Yep. So if we are going to add it, we have to subtract it off the same side, right? Or else we've broken the equation.
Yeah.
But we have to subtract what it would be once you multiplied times the negative 16. So 4 times negative 16 is so we're subtracting off negative 64 because 4 times negative 16 is negative 64.
Because like if you're not going to distribute it, but if you did distribute it, that's what it would be.
Right. Okay, continuing on.
Oh, sounds bad.
Yep.
It's very annoying.
Now what?
Now we rearrange it.
That sounds great.
Plus 70. Ooh, this is the weird part.
Are we done yet? Are we there yet?
No, because the p and the square is on the same side.
Yeah, so gotta get the p on the other side, right? Divide it, multiply. It's easier to think about it as multiplying times 1 over negative 16, right? Because that's what's going to be on the front. So 1 over, or negative 1/16 times y minus 70 equals x minus 2 quantity squared. That's great. Are we supposed to graph it?
No.
Okay. Done and dusted.
That's the part I'm having trouble with a lot.
Okay, and so what is the?
Okay, do you understand all the bits at least, right?
Yeah.
Just remembering all the steps. You've got to practice
So
enough.
the maximum height of a parabola
Is infinite if it's opening up.
is the no.
Oh, yeah. We're supposed to, for part B, right? We're supposed to be what's the maximum height the hot dog can reach? So that's the Y part. So 70 feet or whatever it says. Is it feet?
Negative 70?
No, 70.
Because it reverses, remember? Because in the
So the maximum height is 70 feet.
Boom, we're swimming.
Bam.
Mathematicians, we are.
Right, but
Can we do
no, I have it backwards. Never mind.
Can we do just 2 more problems? One of them where I can do that again, and also one of the equation ones where I can find the equation.
Anything from 16 onwards, because I did not know how to do any of them and accidentally skipped most of them.
Okay.
Can we do you have other things to teach us today?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Yeah, we can do at least one more problem, but beyond that we shall see.
Can we do number 1T2?
Sure.
That's weird.
22 is y squared plus 21 equals negative 20x minus 6y minus 68. So our first task, according to the instructions, is to write it in standard form.
So do we have to get everything on one side and complete the square?
You have an actual y and a squared y, so.
I don't know that we have to get everything on one side, but we should get all the y's on one side at least, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's like a bunch of different ways we could go about this.
Could I just do plus 6y on both sides?
Yeah, and that's definitely a piece of it. I'm gonna intermediate color here, yeah? So this is what I am doing, I think. Trying to decide. There's 2 or 3 different directions we could go. Part of it, like putting 6y over here, is definitely like we need to do that one. But I'm also going to subtract 21 from both sides.
Probably.
You don't have to do that step. You could go about the next bit differently, but I am going to do that. Equals negative 20x minus 89. Now what might we do?
Oh, if we take out something on the right side, then we'll have p.
How about we do that?
Or
So you did the,
To complete the square.
so we're just completing. Oh, because it has a square in it.
Yeah. So we can factor it.
okay, so then it'll be 1 squared plus 6y plus 9, and then we have to add nothing.
We can even do that. You could also subtract it off the safe side, but then you'd eventually shove it over there anyway, right? So let's just do it that way.
9 plus 9.
Now what could we do?
I'm gonna take out the negative 20, so then
I agree.
p.
Well, isn't that p on the right side?
Oh yeah, but we don't have it yet. We have to take it out to get it. Like we're factoring it out.
Oh, I see.
We're factoring a negative 20 out.
It's with the correct bits.
It is with the correct bits already. You were right. And then what else are we supposed to do? We're supposed to identify the vertex, focus, access all the stuff, and graph it. Great. So let's hop, skip, and a jump and get that out and see what we can do.
I understand that enough. If you have things.
Okay, great. Then, are there any other like micro questions from this unit? Do we want to look at anything from 36 to 42?
Yeah, something.
Probably so.
Yeah, some
Choose one. Lottery.
Can we do like 40 or something?
We could do like 40 or something.
I don't really care which one.
We could do like 40 or something. Numero 40 says we're going to find an equation for the parabola that has a focus at 1, 3, excuse me, opens left, and contains the point negative 1411.
Okay, is the direction determined by p?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes.
So if it opens left, then p is negative in this case?
If it opens left, then P is negative. Yes. Yes. Well, kind of depends actually on what the vertex is, but because if the vertex is over in the negative side, then we multiply it by negative. Now it's opening to the right, right? Okay. So what we know is this much. We know that the focus is over here and it's opening this way. So something along those lines. So what is our standard form equation we're using?
The x one, since it's no.
Okay.
The y.
So what is it?
Y1.
Y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h.
All true.
We know the k. No, we don't. Yes. Because of the focus, it's the same.
The focus, the K is the same. That's true. That's true. So let's plug in what we know into this and what we can use in this, right? So let's plug in 11 right here. And let's plug in 3 right here. And what?
The negative 11 came from over there.
The 11 came from there.
Yeah, why did the 11?
Because that's a Y. This is just all we're gonna find. We're trying. Our goal right now is to find P.
Okay.
Right? Because we need to know, we're sticking in the point that they gave us. Because our parabola has this point. We don't know where it is on the graph, but it's somewhere, right? So we're just plugging in the point, right? So X, we can put at negative 14. Minus, do we know H?
Yes, 1. Because vertex is HK.
That's the focus. So let's see if we can walk through some things. So the focus is 1, 3. Vertex, well, how do we find the focus? What is the formula on this one for the focus?
Plus P.
H plus P and then K. Okay. So 1 equals H plus P and K equals 3. Great. So right now we know minus H, right? Yeah. Okay, we got a problem, right? Red flag, but we've already figured out the solution to our red flag, right? Because our problem is we have one equation and we have 2 variables. Can't do it. What do we need? We need another equation. We have 2 more equations. Can we use either one of these with this to solve this system?
You can turn the H into P minus 1.
We can do that, except 1 minus P, but yes. We can subtract P from both sides right here. And then we have H equals 1 minus P, right? Which we can use over here, and then we get it in one variable, right? Because this H could turn into 1 minus P. Now let's solve for P. Lucky us, there's not any letters with the squared. Awesome. Which would be the case like on all of these, right? Okay, so we've got 9 squared. No. How about 8 squared equals 4P times negative 14 minus 1 plus P. Well, then we've got 64 equals 4P times negative 15 plus P. Then we have 64 equals negative 60P plus 4P squared. Oh no. Now what do we need to do?
Move the 64 over. And then factor.
4P squared equals minus 60P minus 64 equals 0. What if we divide everything by 4? How does that sound? So then we end up with P squared minus 15P minus 16 equals 0. And then it would
negative
factor
15 and
into, yes.
We divided everything by 4.
4, we did. And then 16, 1, minus, and plus. So P is going to equal positive 16 or negative 1. Now we're going to throw one of those out because that's because of the opens to the left bit. Well, let's take a look and make sure it works like what we want, right? Let's see. Let's use our mental facilities to think instead of just like using formulas. Let's think about what's going to happen. So if we do y minus, what am I doing? Oh, we haven't even figured out. Oh yeah, we don't even have to plug it in there to do. Let's still use our brains, yes, but do it in a different. Stop, please. Thank you. So. Okay, this is the focus. This and this. This one's definitely 3. We don't care about him. All we got to figure out is whether this goes with this one or this one. Right? Right. So, 1. Oh, wait, we got to figure out what we're. No, I'm just kidding. What is if we go from the focus to the vertex, what is the vertex? Focus is H plus P and K. What is the vertex? HK. Bueno, right? We're going back the other way. So how would we get, if we start with focus, how would we get to vertex? That. How do, if we know P? You do know it's negative 1. How do you know it's negative 1?
I don't know it mathematically, but I know that's it's opening left, and the focus is right here, and the vertex has to be before the focus to go to.
Which is okay. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So in order to get there, we've got to do the opposite, right? We've got to go back up. So we've got to either add the P to get to the vertex, where we've got to add the P, right? Yeah. Okay. So the vertex is either 0, 3, or it is 17, 3, right? And we're starting at the vertex and we're opening to the left. Which one? If we're starting with this, I said it right. I just thought it right. I said it right, thought it wrong. That's backwards of what usually happens. If we're starting here and going to 1, if we're starting at 0 and we're going to 1, we're opening to the right. If we're starting at 17 and going to 1, we're opening to the left. Yes?
But I thought you said negative 1 was correct.
So that makes it 17.
I was trying to think and talk at the same time. What number is this? 20 something? 40. 20, 40. 16. Oh, yeah, I did because I'm sorry. Why am I wrong? What's wrong on here?
Because you're supposed to subtract it from.
Right.
To do it inverse, so then you'll.
Yeah, because it actually, yes.
It's a minus, so you'll get 2.
Yes, yes. So you subtract it to get the other way around. If we're subtracting negative 1, we end up with 1, 2. And we're subtracting 16, 1 minus 16 is negative 15, right? Great. So, you got a minus to get it back, yes? Okay, good. So, like I was saying, to get from 2 to 1, we open this way. To get from negative 15 to 1, we open this way. So we're throwing this one out. This is the one we're keeping. So what is our final equation then?
Y minus 3 squared.
Is it minus? Oh, it is minus 3. You're right.
4x minus 1.
Not squared. It does sound right. Let's move on. Ellipses and circles. More completing the square. Oops, I went too far. I went all the way to vectors. Okay, we're going to get through standard form of an ellipse, and that's probably as far as we're going to get today, which is fine. All right, what is an ellipse?
It's a stretched circle.
Yep. Well, it doesn't even have to be stretched because a circle is also an ellipse. But yes, yes. It's another word for an oval, which a circle is a special one, right? Circle is a one where the foci, which you're going to learn about or remember about, are shoved together in the middle, right? So, standard form of an ellipse looks like this. For one that is a vertical ellipse, it looks like this. X minus h squared over a squared. Excuse me, no, that's different. Plus x, no, golly, why would it be x? How about y minus, you guessed it, k squared over b squared equals 1. The center of the ellipse is located, where do you think? No cheating.
At the center.
that's true and quite pithy, but it's located at HK.
Okay. I don't know if we're being silly.
I do that sometimes, so that's fair. That's quite fair. Hey, the foci, you notice that I didn't say focus. The foci or foci, there's 2 of them. That's true. And you find them by h plus or minus c. Don't worry, we'll explain how to get c in a second. K.
C plus K? Or A and K?
Yeah, they're points. Okay. So, it's the center plus or minus a constant shoved to the side, right? And we're changing the h because h goes with x if it's oh, hell, sorry. I'm just getting annoyed with writing the wrong things in this unit. I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry.
Is that the horizontal way?
Yeah. How about horizontal? So h, because that goes with x, so we start from the center, shove out an equal distance from the center, and you have your foci, the 2 focuses.
Sounds like a type of pasta.
Yeah, I can see that, sure. The vertices, that's true, are located at h plus or minus a k. So, this is an ellipse that is horizontal. So it's an ellipse that's like this guy, right? So he's wide instead of tall, right? So it makes sense that we're counting from the center, the H part of the center. The K is going to be the same. So we go to the focus, foci, and then we go out to the vertices. So these are the vertices, this one and this one. Now, Here's the trick. Did you say why?
No, I said he's wide.
Oh, he's wide. He's thick. He's a thick boy. So there are more vertices, right? There are co-vertices as well.
Co-vertices?
The nice thing about these as compared to parabolas is they're easier to graph, because once you find the center and the vertices and the co-vertices, then you just connect them and we're done, right? It's easy. So what do you think? What is your guess based on our patterns of how you find the co-vertices?
H plus or minus B.
K plus or minus, because it's the ones that's changing from the y part, right? Yeah. So the H is still the same, but it's K plus or minus B, right?
HK.
Now there are two axes of symmetries, right? There's this one and this one. All right, so the major axis of symmetry, or the major, it's often referred to as just the major axis, whatever, right, is y equals k. That makes sense, right? Right at the center. The minor axis of symmetry, or minor axis, is also acceptable. Would be at x equals h, right? That's easy money. Now, we need one more thing in this list. What is the one more thing that we need?
Directrix.
There's not a directrix. Well, actually, there are, I think, actually, but we don't care about that.
I don't know, I'm seeing a triangle.
We have a variable up there that we don't even know what it is or where it is. C. So we need to know how to figure out what C is.
What the constant speed of light?
It is in that context, yes, but it isn't in this context.
Constant.
So, c squared equals a squared minus b squared. And if we want to solve that for, c, we'd end up with c equals, plus or minus, but whatever. We can get that from that. So c equals the square root of a squared minus b squared. Seems kind of familiar. Just don't accidentally write plus. Right? It's not quite the Pythagorean theorem. It's just kind of like it, and it's actually derived similarly. Actually, okay. So the vertical one is going to be really similar, right? Vertical one. Its equation is going to be what?
X minus h squared over b squared?
Wouldn't be x minus k squared over b squared?
No, the h always goes with x and k always goes with y.
Oh, okay.
But that's as good a thought as anything. X minus h squared over b squared plus y minus k, quantity squared, over a squared equals, over here is always 1. For circles, we get, it's not always 1. It's always r squared, but it's different. All right, so the center is still going to be where?
HK.
HK. The foci are going to be where?
H k plus or minus c.
Yep.
I'm copying from the book, I'm not pretending to know this.
I see. The vertices would be where?
H k plus or minus a.
Don't copy, don't tell me if you're just copying from the book.
You seem like you were withholding the information until we answered.
Well, I wanted thought. So you too can catch your mistakes. The co-vertices would be where?
H plus or minus b k.
True enough. Are you also looking at the book?
I'm looking at the horizontal ones.
Where's the major axis of symmetry going to be?
H.
X equals H. And the minor axis of symmetry is going to be at y equals k. And we find C the same way. Making sense? Let's grab one example, maybe. Yes? Yes. If you have to leave early, or not early, but if you have to leave on time and I am still talking, you're welcome to goodbye.
Well, what time is it?
It is 12:30, like on the dot.
I can leave in 5 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to do guided practice 1B. Because if we do 1A, y'all are going to cry and be like, I don't know how to do it.
Is 1B harder? Or
Yes,
easier?
1B is harder. Now, I was talking about, if I don't do 1B, then when I go give you homework, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what is this?
I see.
Because 1A just like gives it to you and it's like, okay, here's the thing, graph it, and then you just do it, right? 1B, you got to do some square completing. All right, so 1B is x squared plus 4y squared plus 4x minus 40y plus 103 equals 0. Gosh, it's hot in here. I need to turn the thing down. Okay, so we're supposed to graph it. So, what do we need to do?
Get it into standard form.
Yeah, get it in standard form. So, what do we need to do?
Move the y's to the other side.
I think we should
We need to move the
add 1 to both sides real quick. Actually, we probably shouldn't do that. Just kidding, because we're about to complete the square. What did you say?
I said get
Y'all
the
said?
y's on one other side.
Well, so we'll deal with the one later, because we're about to complete the square and divide and whatever else, and we don't want to accidentally like do something crazy, right?
And get the 2 x's on the other side.
We could go like
Take out those.
x squared plus 4x gap 4y squared minus 40y gap
You should write gap there just for fun.
Because we're about to put the green part in there.
equals negative 103.
Okay. We can do it twice on one side. That's legal.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't too proud, too big. Sweet darling. So complete the square on the x's. 4 divided by 2 squared. 2 squared equals 4. So add 4. And we can add 4 on the other side. And then we got to do something else over here, right? We got to get a to be 1. So this one, I'll go ahead and factor into x plus 2 squared, and then plus 4 times y squared minus 10y gap equals negative 99. Great. Don't worry, we'll make him 1 later. And then we do the other green part. Hello? Negative 10 divided by 2 squared, so negative 5 squared is 25.
And then 25 times 4 is 100. Oh, look, he's 100. He's 1.
He's 1. So we're going to add 25, and we got to do it over here, but we've got to multiply the 4 to see what we actually add. So yes, we would add 100.
That's so helpful.
It is so helpful. I'm going to talk through out loud what if is not 100 in a minute. So give me a half a second. Over x plus 2 squared equals, no, I don't know why I keep doing that, plus 4 times y minus 5 squared equals 1. Now we have a bit of a problem What?
Supposed to be on the same side.
Same side is great. We like same side.
They're not over anything.
They're not over anything. They're times something.
So
They're
we just divide.
divide everything by 4, but then the 1 will be net 1/4.
Divide everything by 4.
So we can add 1/4, I guess?
We can get rid of it later
Probably.
and just.
Okay, but the bottom parts need to be. Why is it 4?
It should be 1/4.
Okay. No, I'm not confused.
Okay, the bottom parts should be squared, so the 4 we can turn into 2 squared, and then the under technically of the y is 1 squared.
That's true, but we still have a problem.
Yeah, I'm delaying.
Is it because the second one's still not a republic?
I don't know if he's able to do this.
Not even 70 degrees.
It is really hot in here.
It is really hot in here.
I don't know how to fix it.
We have to multiply everything by 4.
Multiply everything by 4 and then.
It's a guided practice, so it doesn't do anything in the book.
And then divide it by 4 again, and then multiply it 4, and then divide by 4 again. We should just go
Okay, so the thing on the right
to make it
has
look like we
to
did a
be
lot
1,
more.
correct?
Has to be 1.
Okay. So can we turn the original
What if
y1
we
into
do
that
this?
over 4?
What if we do this? Obviously. Stupid me. Since that's already that. What if we do this? Write it more or less all the way out. What's this still there? What if we do that? It's ugly. It's ugly, but
What does that do again?
that puts the 4 down here.
Oh. Okay.
Which is why, when you look at the answer in the book, it's a little bitty ellipse. Which makes sense because of our answer here, or our...
And then we can just divide everything by 4 again.
No, we're done. Well, with the this.
Okay, and then get 1/4.
So let's write. Let's write it. We don't have to necessarily do all the bits, but let's get A and B and C and all those things, right? All right, and then we'll see what dots we would need to do to graph it. So what is H?
-2.
-2. What is K? 5. What is A?
1 is the square root of
1, because it's the square root of 1. What is B?
1. 1/4, should that be 1/16? No, 1/2.
1/2. True enough.
Brain was working backwards.
And then if it was asked us for the other bits, yeah, we need to figure out how to do C. So C squared C equals the square root of 1 squared minus 1/2 squared. So equals the square root of 1 minus 1/4. So the square root of 3/4.
No, positive.
What?
I thought it was negative for a second. Never mind.
Equals, so that would equal the square root of 3/2, right? So now we have all the puzzle pieces. If we were asked to graph this, which ones of the dots do we need to do?
Vertex.
Vertices in the center, right? So, the vertex is where?
-2, 5.
The vertices see, Garrett? You want to work?
Tell the video for Garrett to come back
Tell the video for Garrett to come back.
and watch the video.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think that'll help. Okay, so the vertices are where?
Okay, -1, 5, and -3, 5.
Oh, this is not the vert, this is the center. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
-1, 5, and what you said?
-3, 5.
That's true enough.
The -3 came from where again?
Plus or minus these.
Wait. Plus or minus that on what?
On the H part.
Oh, are you? Okay. Oh, because it's just the equation. Yeah.
And then the co-vertices,
Why is there 2 again?
Because it's plus and minus.
because it's the outsides
Yeah.
and then the upsides and downsides. The co-vertices,
-2, 5 halves, and -2, 4 halves.
oh yeah, it is a half.
How do we know if it's horizontal or vertical?
It's a good question. How do we know that?
That changes the A's and
Is it versus if the x was over a versus the y over a
It's the size.
size?
Who's H and K?
Of H and no, not of H and K. H and K is the center of the A and B.
So if A is bigger than B,
It may be easier to think about if it's whichever one, the X or the Y, it's bigger underneath, right? So X, the number on this one, X, the number under X is bigger, right? And so it's going to stretch this way. The number on, like if you look at the example up there, or the one that they show you, it's one, like they show you one that's opening up and down, and on that one, the number on the Y is bigger, and so it's opening this way, right? Okay, so then you do all the points, graph your little tiny ellipse right here, right? Easy money. Okay, so homework. Two through 12 evens. Page 438. And that's it. Goodbye, children. Hasta luego. English class. He dies in the end. What are y'all going to read after Frankenstein?